we go.
Hi guys, welcome to session 2 of Hutt Cartel, the second series. We do not have Alexi and Sarah Mover with us today. We have the other players. Last session, Boxy the droid led Scara's old friend Czern off to ETEMA's apartment, a situation that can't possibly be misinterpreted by the dangerously jealous crime lord Inez. And ETEMA was tasked with finding a new hookup for the cartel. And of course, SCARA murdered a woman in cold blood in the middle of a marketplace, thoroughly pissing off their friend Crix Hero, the former PC who is currently with Sarah Mover. We may or may not see this session given that they're away, but we will. This is a gauntlet game. We play with all the safety tools. I've gone over all this with the players before. We've played a lot, so we're quite casual with it, but everybody who's watching this video should always keep them in mind because they are great tools of play and it just really reinforces a great play culture. And you know, if you're interested in that, come check out the gauntlet. And we have a gauntlet con coming up, and also we're doing a special Star Wars Sunday in December, where we'll just all be like this. But anyways, I am just going to flip right through without introductions because I feel like everybody here is familiar with each other, and we did. If you're watching this, you'll have seen it last session. So why don't we pick up with SCARA, who I believe after getting away from this hit clean is looking for Czern, her erstwhile friend, and is looking to drown some of those guilt. Now, you know, 8 lives is where you've heard that Czern is. And you're poking around, you ask the bartender there, and it's a weak way who just sort of like goes, shakes his head and makes a noise. And then you hear a familiar voice behind you cackling at the table, nudging some of his guys. And this Bothan steps up to the bar, and it is Baku Rue, let's say. The problem with Star Wars names when you say them for the first time and you have to work out how you pronounce them. But yeah, Baku Rue, the cartel member, the Bothan, who you injured back when you worked for Black Sun. And you can see him smoking a big cigar type thing that puffs out purple smoke as he sat there at the table with his cronies, and he says, "You're looking for your girl, huh?"
Not that it's any of your business, but yeah.
She was a mess, but not as much as that little Twi'lek was, right? Not after we were done with her.
Okay, SCARA is not going to let that stand. She still has this stolen uniform, but she's like removed the cap and the jacket is like unbuttoned. She's casual, but she's still wearing the uniform. And she turns on him and she has this dead-eye stare because she's still kind of out of it after cold-blooded murder. And you can walk away right now, or you can be carried out. It's your choice.
Carried out of 8 lives? Break the deal? You think you do that? You think you're so precious to Inez that she'd break this whole thing apart? You realize that we remember when you ran for Black Sun, and she's made it up to us. But we run these streets. We ran these streets while you were running off with that idiot Co and your little friend. I lost people too, SCARA, and I see you. If you want to pressure them to try and break back down.
No, this is now it's on.
Man,
she's too high strung to just use words at this point. It's just a question if she's going to punch him or shoot him. I don't know how big. Both of us aren't that big, right?
he is surrounded by his cronies, just so you remember.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not here alone. And 8 lives is supposed to be, unless everybody, but the only person who gets to kill people in 8 lives is an Ez. You know, that's it. That's how cartels work. You have to be on top to act like you want.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think, SCARA doesn't care if she gets beat up, but she can't not go for him.
Okay.
So she's just going to lunge at him and start punching.
Mm-hmm. And I think at this point in time, you know, I think it's more interesting for Boxy to have left Czern behind, like passed out at the thing. So if you'd like to be here, Boxy, you know, catching up on the gossip and stuff like that.
I think it might be that I come in during this fight.
Okay. Dish out a beatdown.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I think this is I think it's
turned
turned to violence, frankly.
Yeah, I don't think she can't just not with
if you'd waited for him outside and got him in an alleyway, or if you waited for him to go into, if you'd said that like I walk away and I wait for him to go to the refresher and then beat him up in there, but I think with his full gang around him, like this is definitely a turn to violence.
So I'm going to hit 5 stress either way here because I'm at 4 right now.
Perfect.
But let's roll the move, and that's savagery, and I now have a savagery of +1, so it's not automatically bad. That's a 7.
That is a 7. So which do you choose?
Yeah, I tried Steven's thing here with having multiple tabs, but I haven't gotten used to it, so I keep flipping both at the top and at the bottom. That doesn't work so well. Let's see, I get to choose 2. Yeah, okay. Inflict terrible harm, and there's something special that happens when you hit 5 stress, right?
You are overwhelmed, and I can at any point just tell you to you have to do a stress move or take a consequence if you don't immediately take a stress move. Like, but you know, I think this is immediately going to trigger your dish out a beatdown if you're choosing inflict terrible harm. Frankly, I think that's the narrative position to dish out a beatdown. And
I think
basically I can come at you really hard when you're at 5 stress, you know.
Yeah.
And
I expect that.
you couldn't currently turn to violence because
I think I'll take suffer little harm as well. I'll take the stress. I'll take the collateral damage. She just doesn't care. She's just in it to kick his ass.
Okay. Well, I think you grab him off that table, right? Or like, I think you kick that table over, right? Knocking his guards back down, right? Which is why you don't take any harm, because he can't. You know, you just take it and you grab him, slam him to the ground, and he fumbles out a blaster and it fires off in the air, which you just bat aside, right? But the whole room, you know, just like everybody here is filled with civilians as well, right? Like not everybody here is part of the cartel. It's also an up and coming nightclub that's just so fancy, and like, isn't it a little bit dangerous and sexy for people to come down here? But no, everybody is screaming and running out now. And you grab him, you inflict terrible harm. I think that in terrible harm is that you grab him and you stamp on his bionic leg that he's had since the thingy, and you just break it off, and you pick it up and you smack him in the face with it on the ground.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you look up, and you hear SCARA from the top, and you can see Inez standing there looking out over the balcony, over the floor. and he's Baku is moaning on the floor, and there is a like 3 or 4 guys standing at the top, all with their blasters drawn, and you can see that the guys who you knocked onto the floor are all like holding their guns, like looking like absolutely tense. And Baku laughs and says, "You dumb piece of spit. You wanted to know where your girl was? Where do you think she is? She's being tied around that Ratataki's finger like everybody else." And he stares daggers up at Inez as he's on the floor as well.
And I think that's when Boxy comes in, and Boxy sees this tense situation, right? And basically walks over and effectively tries to smooth things over with Inez. And he says, "Man, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I'll take SCARA out back, and you can de-escalate this situation in here, while I, do your bidding out back, ma'am."
What was this about ETEMA that I hear, Boxy?
I don't know where ETEMA is.
And where's Czern?
Oh, Czern, I took her back to ETEMA's place. She was causing a lot of distraction here at the 8 Lives, and I wanted to make sure she got someplace safe.
Is that truly what Boxy was doing? Because that is kind of what you were doing, but I'm just curious if that was actually your motivation.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And she says, well, I mean, that lets you off the hook. It doesn't let ETEMA off the hook as far as Inez is concerned. And she says, of course. You deal with SCARA. Make sure she understands what she's just done. Yes? Baku.
Yes, ma'am.
And he spits out blood. One of his guys picks him up, and she looks down at you and SCARA, and she says, "SCARA, give him back his leg."
Yeah. At this point, she can't really do anything.
Hey, you can dish out a beatdown, because we haven't done that. That's one more. That's basically one more. Like, you shut the Sith up. Voodoo.
Yeah, I think she holds his leg, and they picked him up, and I think she moves forward to give it to him, and then just slams it in his face with the broken off end first.
Mm-hmm. So let's roll that dish out a beatdown.
Yeah, so that's same roll. That's an 11.
Nice. So you feel really good about dishing out this beatdown. You can clear your stress. And Baku is just knocked, crashed onto the ground. And all of his guys pull their guns, and you just hear and then another shot goes off, and Inez is holding a heavy blaster pistol at the top. And she says, "It's like Ko never effing left." Boxy, get her out of here. Get him upstairs quickly. And yeah.
Yeah, and SCARA's leaning down over I need to know his name, Baku, and she says, if you ever talk about my gang again, I'll shove this up the other end.
And he's he's snuffling through blood on the ground. Yeah, so congratulations on making a big enemy. And a huge problem for Inez. Nice. So I want to cut across to ETEMA, and then we'll cut back for a Boxy SCARA scene. And then we'll probably round off this period with a, well, you know, what happens with the Czern Inez ETEMA sort of situation. By the way, Boxy, Inez very clearly is going to go check out ETEMA's apartment as soon as she's got this under wraps, just so you know. And I draw your attention to your keys. Just so you know what's available as options and, you know, XP triggers, because I'm looking at that. Clear this key in advance when you allow one of them to be hurt or harmed when you could have intervened.
So I think that just as you start ETEMA's scene, Boxy and SCARA go out into the back alley, and Boxy gets on the communicator to give ETEMA a heads up that Inez is headed to her place. No?
I was thinking about this over the week. I'm a bit reluctant to keep on leaning on the comms thing, because so far last session, every scene was like I get on the comms and it's the whole everyone's got TACnet kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like everybody's informed all the time. I think to interfere, it's more than just a heads up. You know, it's more interesting to me that ETEMA walks into that scene without knowing. Does this seem fair to guys? It's a thing I struggle with, but when you've got like mobile phones and stuff, every scene becomes like I instantly tell people everything that they need to know to make this scene less dramatic and less kind of complicated.
Story-wise, to me, it doesn't make much sense that we wouldn't have communicators, but it does make sense that people can't answer. Right?
Yeah, well,
ETEMA's too busy. She can't get there. She's involved in something else.
Yeah. So you try, but it doesn't go through. Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
No problem.
Which does mean though
Wait a second, we have spotty cell reception 1300 levels below Coruscant.
I mean, look at Star Wars. Nobody uses comms apart from like when it's dramatically appropriate to have like a scene. Fair. You know, yeah. The rest, everything could be solved with mobile phones generally. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, you push her out and you send a message, but you know, turns out that there's no reception in Refuge 1313, not in the back rooms anyways.
Oh, there's something blocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we cut over to 1313 as Peyton Fenn leads you into basically like the hospice ward. This is you know, people who are not going to get better are being kept, and this is where Elba is, and he's coming through and he says, this is it's busier than I could have ever thought than it's ever been before, and we've got so much less since Astapone went. I don't know how long we're going to keep the lights on.
Maybe there's something I can do about that. Listen, is she just staying here, or is she dying too?
He laughs and says, only on the inside, I think. Maybe you can fix that. And he draws you over to a woman, a Deveronian woman, who is sat holding the hand of somebody who's clearly like not long for this world. And she looks like slightly anxious as she turns over, and he goes, Ebla, ETEMA, Ebla. Ebla, ETEMA's a friend. I think you can trust her. And then he looks at you and you see that he means that. For now. And you remember what he asked you to promise and how you moved it around.
Just remind Rich the player, because I want to make sure that I don't break a promise to Peyton Fenn.
Oh, you already phrased it so you were going to break that promise to Peyton Fenn, which was you were going to look out for Ebla and help her get out of this no matter what. That you'd keep her safe. And you basically phrased it as like as best as I can kind of thing, you know? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We did all of the wrangling around it, and you were like, Yes, yes. You didn't lie at all until I got you on the, will you put her above anything else?
I remember the scene. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
spectacularly awesome.
And she's like quite nervous. She looks at you and she says, what's this about?
It's nice to meet you, Ebla. I'm here because I need your help.
Are you part of the Rebel Alliance?
Yes.
It's been so long since I talked to anyone in the cause, you know? I just paid, and I haven't dared, not since Czern took that deal.
What was the deal that Czern took?
Well, come work for, well, it was all my fault, really. I got Ari killed. He had to, you know, the Imperials were going to take me down for trying to help people, and he had to make this deal with Black Sun, and you know, we live up top now, and it's all great, right? It's all great, but oh my God, what are we doing here? And she like squeezes the hand of the person, like, this is what buys me my life. Czern's right. Czern's just doing this to keep us alive.
I know.
By the way, for you weren't there, but it's totally not what happened at all. Czern was taking a deal, and he just gaslit his wife into this completely. Just so you know, Stephen knows.
Awesome.
But you could help us, right?
I'm here to help you. Ebla, I'm here to help you. And you need to help me with Czern to make this come out right.
I mean, he's got still these men around him. You know, he works for them. They make him work for them. And she gives you, you know, she says, I just want him out of this. I just want us both out of this.
Well, the Rebel Alliance needs you. I need you. Okay? I don't think there's any out of this for either of us. Not until it's done.
You get him. You know, he doesn't believe like I do. He doesn't think, but I know he can be convinced. You know, he's a brilliant man. He can make anything. They've got him making this poison, and he could be making, and she leans in close. He could be making detonite. He could be making stuff for the resistance. He could be useful.
He could be. But maybe he'll be most useful for us.
I think this is a justified behavior more than anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's kind of like a pressuring or propose a deal, but I think mostly doing it as in like saying that you're. Yeah, nope. I don't think you need to if you justify your behavior. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna justify.
Because Peyton Fenn's vouched for you.
I mean, that's an automatic hit right there, I think. I got an 11, sucker! I am so justified.
Mm-hmm. She believes you.
Ebla, there's an opportunity for us, and it's an opportunity for you to get Czern out of that terrible deal with the Black Sun. The Black Sun is never going to help the Alliance. Never.
I know, but it's not going to work for the cartel.
Do you know who I am? It's okay if you don't.
No, I only really get to come here and go home. That's it.
We will change that. I promise you that. ETEMA puts her hand on her shoulder and says, my wife is the new cartel crime lord. I am well placed to make sure that what the Alliance needs done happens. I need your help.
Okay.
So some of these men who are keeping Czern, I will take care of that. But then I need you to help me convince Czern to come back to work for the cartel.
Okay.
It's going to work out. We're going to stick together.
Hi guys, sorry. You said it's going to work out. We're going to stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because you came in at that robot slow speed for me, and I was like, right, I need to sort out my internet connection. But I got what you were saying.
I had a slow internet earlier today, but it seems to have sussed out. So hopefully we'll all suffer through Zoom.
Yeah, it's I had to move my router around. My building has got like all of the water pipes in between every room, it seems, and it really messes with the Wi-Fi signal. So like
That sucks.
I'm literally about 2 meters away from my router at any point in the flat, but each room has got shitty signal. But I've just tried to plug an Ethernet cable in, so hopefully. But anyways, I think that's enough for her. She will give you Czern's address, which is a penthouse apartment up on the upper levels. And she tells you that that Czern, cooks from there. He has his own special lab, and he has a couple of guys who are his minders. Yeah. One thing that strikes you though, Blackson's gone. So who are these people? She seems to think that Czern's working for Blackson.
Interesting.
And yeah, I think it's getting late, right? So it's back to the apartment where your comm has a little flashing light as you go back, but you're not checking those messages as you walk away, like head swimming with as Payton Fenn nods at you as you leave, and you see a body bag being brought out from the back. This bad batch is killing people. And who sold all of that? Can't have been you. Can't have been your friends, right? Anyways, over to Boxy and Scara, because I want to see how Boxy diffuses, or this interaction between these two for sure.
So I think Boxy leads Scar into the back alley and says, calm down, Inez understands what's going on, and Inez is going to take care of things inside. And I think at that kind of closes the door, to the back alley and says, and Inez has your back, that's a part of the business, and, she'll do whatever's needed to take care of her people. Unlike, those that came before. And I think Boxy kind of puts his arm around you and starts walking towards the end of the alley. It says you just have to control that temper of yours until Inez says it's okay. And just Boxy, I think, is just being kind of chummy and chit chatty. And says Inez has a lot of things on her mind. And we have to remember that she's got a lot just to keep us moving. So what was going on in there?
Yeah, and SCARA, she's not really upset, not right now. I mean, she flared up and then she kind of cooled down, and
Are you
So-
getting the truth out of someone, Boxy?
Not yet.
Okay,
yet.
just because you roll with hustle, you can clear one stress when you do. So, and I think getting the truth can apply to even your emotions, right? Like, where are you really at, SCARA? And I know this is stepping on the sort of like non-mechanical like player interaction, but I think Cartel's a game where it works best if you use the moves and then do the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I would just encourage you to do it, because that means that SCARA has to choose up front how open she's going to be about it.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
Sounds
try
good.
that. Get to the truth is hustle. That's an 8.
So you choose one. They can't mislead you with the truth, they can't confuse with falsehoods, or they can't stonewall you with silence.
Silence is boring, so you can't stonewall me with silence, but you can do the others. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I think SCARA's mostly telling the truth about what happened. He was talking poodoo about my crew, and I can't have that. That's all.
Yeah. Well, one of your crews actually crashed out right now over at ETEMA because she couldn't handle herself. So you might want to talk to Czern and get, her under control, because I know that everybody's stressed out right now. We just don't want to put all of that stress down on Inez's shoulders. So what do you think about that?
Are you sure about Trent?
Oh, I'm not. I took care of Czern. I made sure that she was doing okay.
Good. It's good. I'll go see to her.
And I think Boxy says, well, I think that I have a favor to ask of you. You see, I've heard some rumors that there's all of these people higher ups who are trying to leave. And I think Boxy leans forward and whispers, Imperials. And they're trying to leave really quickly. And I think we need to get to the bottom of it. And I'm just a lowly protocol droid. I can't find them. I need your help. Do you think you might be able to help me find out what's going on with all these people leaving?
Sounds like you're proposing a deal.
I am. Yeah.
So what is
If
the
we-
deal?
I think the deal is I'm going to take some of the heat from Inez, because I think Inez's intention was, Boxy, you go out back and you rough up, SCARA.
No, I mean, SCARA's way meaner than you are at the moment.
Yeah, Boxy.
Yeah.
Boxy couldn't. I literally in the last scene was like, Boxy puts a gun in SCARA's back and leads her out, and I'm like, no, Boxy has no gun.
No.
Yeah.
I will let you know without anything is that SCARA's on very thin ice right now. But what she is at the moment in that room is an embarrassment to Inez. She is a sign that Inez does not have control over things, and she just wants you to get rid of it for now. Whatever that is later, I mean, I'm sure I don't have to articulate what happens to people who weaken the drug lords hold in front of people.
So in that case, okay, the deal is, can you help me find where the Imperials are going or how they're getting off world and get me information about that? And I will talk you up with Inez. I will try and smooth some of the stuff over with Inez and make things look better. Okay, so let me roll that. That's with face. I rolled a 6 and my face is 2, so that makes it an 8.
So Anders, you can choose to impose a condition, adjust the price, or point you at an interested, or you can point them at somebody else to say, like, I'm not interested, but somebody else might be. I would say that, like, adjusting the price is probably along the lines of you'll do anything to, you know, like when you say that you'll help me out, like you really need to do anything, or impose a condition would be like, okay, but we also need to get rid of Baku. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I don't know which one this would fall under, but you make sure Ines knows he's the one who started it.
I think this is impose a condition. 100%. Shift that anger towards him rather than you. Like, keep the fight going, but try and sway Inez to be on your side rather than his, despite the fact that you're the one who broke the, broke the rules.
And I think Boxy, kind of shakes you a little bit with that arm around your shoulder and is like, of course, I know. I mean, Baku, he's a rough sort. He's the one who's always causing trouble. And just as a bookmark, I'd like a scene at some point where I put together this is next session or late this session or something, where I put together like a little dinner and set things up with, at least with SCARA and Inez, and ETEMA can be there. It's just, I want to set this up, and this is how I envision paying off my part of the deal, is just setting up a little dinner to get everybody friendly again.
I like that. Dinner between SCARA and ETEMA.
And I just have a move that the spouse playbook has, which is when you arrange a relaxing diversion.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great idea. I
think because SCARA doesn't really know Boxy, I think she wants to figure out if he's on the up and up about this, or if he's trying to set her up in some way, because she doesn't quite trust him. I don't know. Is that size?
Must be get the truth.
Up?
Size someone up is more about taking them out. It's like kind of like, could I take them down in this moment, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he'd sized up the table of people rather than attacking them, I could have told you, for example, that what are their current strength, that this is
I think she like, where do I start looking for these Imperials? She asked some questions about it to figure out if this is a real thing, because he has detailed answers, or if he's just made something up to send her off on doing something other than causing trouble.
So do you want to get the truth?
Yeah, I think so. But hustle, I don't remember my hustle. I have a hustle of 2.
You're a hustler.
I am, even if that didn't work out so well previously. That's an 11.
11, nice. So you get to choose 2. I imagine it's probably they can't stonewall you with silence, and they can't confuse you with falsehoods.
Yeah, those were the ones I wanted to go.
So you can mislead them with the truth with a certain. I love this move because it should basically just be called from a certain point of view. So yeah. Is there anything you would add to what you've said, Stephen, about like what your true intent is here?
So my true intent is, and from talking to Boxy gives you enough answers that you can tell. My true intent is really to find out what's going on with these Imperials and how they're getting off planet. Now, whether or not this is something that you do get some doubts about whether or not this is something that Inez cares about. But you have a feeling that this. I think that Boxy actually stumbles and says at some point, well, I think the mistress wants, to know more about this. And that's not Inez, that's probably ETEMA. So you know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I like that. Perfect.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. And let's do it. If we got 5 minutes to do the ETEMA Czern when she gets back to her apartment and finds Czern passed out in a bed.
Scara, what was your plan at the end of the scene? Where did you want to go?
I guess I'll just start doing that, because now I know Czern is safe, and
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a job to do. So
yeah, let's cut the scene. Whatever. Well, you can frame back up again with other stuff afterwards. So, ETEMA, back at your apartment.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask a couple questions before.
Yeah.
Because ETEMA's got this whole key about going recklessly into danger, and Inez said, "Go get me a cook," and she basically has the info, the location, all that stuff. So, like,
if you want to do that, let's do that. Yeah, I'm 100% behind that.
That's where ETEMA, and of course people could talk me out of it, but in my head, ETEMA would go from Paden Fens up to the surface to, like, her intent, pretend she's a hooker, to get into the place, kill whoever is not Czern, get Czern, show up with Inez and in front of Inez with Czern. Look, I did this thing. That's her whole plan.
I think this is great, because this gives me a nice big gray area of what happens when Inez goes to that apartment and you're not there and Czern is.
Yeah. That's a bummer, because my plan was to make to learn what was causing Czern to be so reckless and try to cure that. It really was a generally overall positive thing ETEMA was trying to do to make SCARA happier. I know, I love it. The
game gets in the way. Yeah, you had noble intentions. Yeah, but
ETEMA in her head has noble intentions. She may have slept with Czern if that's what it took to get the end result, and probably Inez would not accept that. But I'm just saying, like, in her head, ETEMA's doing all good stuff all the time.
Okay, I think then this is a good time to take the break, and we will come back at 10 past if that's
okay. We're back.
Okay, so ETEMA, you walk out of refuge with 1313 with the recognizable glint in your eye that things are about to get rough, right? Yeah, you've got this apartment. It is higher up, so there is security. CSF is far more. It might even draw Imperial attention up here if anything goes too loud. But it is within a fairly, I'm imagining like a penthouse in a luxury. Well, they couldn't have like luxury apartments, right? There's a concierge at the front, but it's all very, very private, because our residents pay the best to get the best, and that means privacy.
I like privacy.
So, well, how are you going to approach it?
ETEMA's basically wearing like the silver version of the gold bikini that Princess Leia was forced to wear in Return of the Jedi. And she's gonna head straight to that apartment.
Okay.
Maybe she drinks like a little bit of intoxicant to make it to where it's on her breath,
And there is there is a Wookiee, a very mean looking Wookiee, and a mean looking Trandoshan. Odd to see the two of them together. And you can see, you know, they come and, you know, you sort of watch it for a few minutes outside, right? And you see them come and go. Clearly, they're packing. And they go up to, you know, they go into a lift. And you see the lift go up on the outside of the building, up to the penthouse suites. But you got to make it past the concierge to get in.
Cool. So I'll come up to, I imagine there's like a desk for the concierge, and just kind of lean across the
You know what? It's
desk.
not interesting. It's interesting for you to get to the door. You get past the concierge, and it's, you know, he just goes like, yeah,
Nice. Yeah, we did like a quick thing of
Yeah.
like flirting and getting past. Awesome. So she'll head up to the door, and Edema, sorry for hitting the mic there. Edema kind of dredges up her time when she worked on the street. She tries to move in a sensual manner, draw the eyes. She realizes the Trandoshan and Wookiee may not have any interest in Aratataki, but it's a part that she's playing.
Oh, the Trandoshan growls like when he sees you come up.
Nice.
Hello, baby. What's this? And the Wookiee goes, "Arr," and he goes, quiet. It's boring standing up here all day.
And Edema moves up and just kind of leans into the Trandoshan's chest. I assume Trandoshan much taller than Edema. Leans into his chest and looks up. I'm here for... I've been sent for. Czern?
Now you're here to see the boss.
Czern?
Okay, well, we'll have to check everything. You understand?
Okay. Don't hurt me too bad.
Okay. Now, are you sneaking anything in here?
Nope. I'm daring. I realize that if we're going above, walking around with a blaster is carking stupid. So I am unarmed.
I mean, walking around with a blaster in your skimpy little clothing is certainly a danger.
There's nowhere to really hide it.
No, that was going to be a push your luck with a real thing. Yeah. The Wookiee like doesn't look happy about this at all, but the Trandoshan just overruns it and says, "Relax. It'll be so much better. That wife of his is not so frigid. May as well be like Hoth."
I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Just like titters of laughter.
And he'll bring you in. And he takes you through into this luxurious penthouse, right? Lots of things. And you can see a door standing open on one. So you see a big master bedroom, but you can also see another door that's opened. And it's a much simpler room. And that simpler room has got pictures of Ebla and of Elba, sorry, and an old friend who was a CSF officer who died famously. You recognize her from the holovids. Somebody who was linked to the cartel back in the day. And you know, a few pictures of her and Czern, but it looks as though they're sleeping in different rooms. And then Trandoshan leads you through and says, "Boss is out on the balcony. I'll leave you to it." And he smiles.
Reach up and kind of stroke his chest. Thank you.
Don't forget me.
I won't.
And yeah, out on the balcony is a Deveronian, you know, like hands out on the balcony looking out across the city. A little floating service droid next to him with like several cocktails all made. And he's staring out. And you also see that like it looks as though they own the apartment, the other penthouse apartment as well. and that they have constructed their own door on the inside of it. You know, like they put through one of the walls basically, and that is locked with a very heavy-looking security door. Might be where he does his cooking.
That'd be my guess.
So how are you going to approach it when you come to Czern?
I think I'll walk up to the balcony door and just observe him for a few moments and size him up. So yeah, I'll do that.
You size him up.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. Woof.
Oof.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a 5. That is a faily fail.
That is a fairly fail.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I think as simple as he turns and says, I wonder how long it would be before the cartel came begging for my services again.
What
Come.
will it take?
Pay me. I'm done being their lackeys. I don't work for anyone but myself now.
Look around. You've done pretty well for yourself.
Well, this is just the start. They didn't understand what they had. Black Sun did. But Black Sun are far too short-sighted. It takes vision. You can't see it when you're down there. What are you offering?
Your life.
And he smiles at you with his teeth in and he says, I have 2 very strong sentients. Just through that door. And he holds up a little button. I press this. You go over there. Why? I already have my life. And I can take yours. You trying to pressure him though?
That was the intent.
Yeah, well, let's see how, let's see, because I think you roll the pressure with that. You don't get a +1 to that. I think, in fact, you get a -1 on that one, frankly, on
Fair.
top of whatever it is. There's your -1 forward from the miss, you know?
Yeah. So here we are at a -1 on pressure. Oh, that's another fail. Because the -1, actually.
Mark a stress as he presses that button and the doors open up behind you, and these 2 goons walk, and the Trandoshan walks in, and the Wookiee just like shakes his head, pushes the Trandoshan into the wall, growls at him, and then strides forward. The Trandoshan's going to stay outside, like embarrassed that he's let this happen, and the Wookiee is now grabs you by the shoulders and sits you down forcefully in the sea.
Okay.
Is that all you had to offer, little girl? I hear that there's another little girl running. She was a dancer when I knew her. Did you know that? Just another piece of street trash. Thinking that they can rise to the top.
This doesn't have to go this way. Czern, why don't you do it the right way? Look at what you're doing to your wife. She loves you.
Oh. He is not happy with the mention of his wife. And he, he scowls, looks out over the balcony, pulls out a little vial of what looks like the finest cut spice you've ever seen. And he takes a bump. He looks back at you. Oh, how rude of me. Do you want some? Good stuff. Better than anything they've got down there, at least since I left.
Yeah, I'm sure. We got hold of a bad batch. It hasn't gone well.
I hear.
And while he's gloating and everything, I'm just going to kind of look up at the Wookiee. And I'd like to size him up.
Yeah.
He's the one I'm going to have to attack in just a moment. Okay, here we go. Come on. Keep it together. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
That's a 10. I get to ask 3.
Mm-hmm.
How can I show this Wookiee dominance?
You see the thermal detonator on his belt.
What's current weaknesses?
He seems particularly interested in that spice that Czern is floating around.
What does he wish I would do right now?
Say one more thing about Czern's wife so that he has an excuse to throw you off the balcony, which would, incidentally, put you very close to that thermal detonator on his belt.
I look longingly at the canister of spice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that looks good. Listen, I didn't get paid enough for all this violence your people can do to me. I'm just here to deliver a message. Maybe we could be friends here.
Show me the color of your credits and maybe we can.
Do you think I have credits in this outfit? I don't even have a comm unit.
Well, it seems like you didn't come prepared with anything other than disrespect for my wife. She's mine.
So that's a no on us having some spice? And me leaving as a friend?
Tosses you the spice. You can leave as a friend. And the Wookiee eyes just like follow. You see it twitch slightly, like his leg twitching slightly.
Say, I'll let her know that you have a much higher price.
You're going to let Inez? No, you don't speak to my wife. You leave her alone. I find out. This is all over. You're over.
Okay.
What's your move here, Rich?
Gonna see if this Wookiee will walk me out, and then I'm gonna offer him some spice
Uh-huh.
and kill him. with
Okay.
his thermal detonator. That's the plan.
Okay. You're gonna do it out of this room? I thought you were gonna do it
Yeah.
here in the balcony and kick him off the balcony.
I
with a
was
thermal detonator
super
rig.
tempted, but I'm like, that's a little like, but the detonator inside the apartment probably less noticeable. I don't know. Yeah, I considered it, but I think ETEMA wants to like blow him up in the apartment because that
Okay.
sounds fun and good. That's a thing that she's gonna do. She feels pretty confident about this now.
Okay. I think this is a push your luck. You get a +1,
You sure I can't like
+2.
go into some violence here?
I think going into violence.
Turning to violence?
Yeah, turning to violence would be you attacking them. I think it's pushing your luck to try and grab that thermal detonator, and
That's
you know
true.
what I mean.
And if
Yeah.
I fail in the detonator, I could just turn to violence. Yeah, this was
Yeah,
good. Push
yeah.
your luck. Okay, here we go. Push your luck. Roll with grit. I am not gritty at all. Here we go. Oof, that's an 8. That is way better than I anticipated. 7 to 9. Things don't work out the way you hoped. You can tell me things around if I act quickly, make an ugly choice, or tough it out.
Cool. So you are gonna blow this guy. You know, you're gonna take it away, right?
Mhm.
But that is gonna set off every alarm in this building.
Ooh. Okay.
But that is a chance to snatch Czern. If you can do it. I'll point out that you're at 4 stress.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's do it. I snatch the thermal detonator. I hand over the spice, and then snatch the thermal detonator, and yeah, I guess.
Cool. I think as you're going back through, you know, as he's dragging you through the room, you go, "Hey, you want this?" And he growls and goes, big smile, and then he looks down, and it's just that, and you're sprinting across to the other side of the room.
I love that. That is exactly it.
Cool. Yeah. You know, boom. It blows up straight out of the roof of this penthouse, you know, and you can just see smoke. Czern is like sprawled on the balcony, groggy, like, you know, he nearly got blown right off it. The Weequay, the Trandoshan kicks down the door and opens fire, just starts spraying blaster bolts.
Cut away.
Yeah.
Do you want to cut away from me, or do you want to roll? Keep going to the scene.
I kind of, you know what? Let's not do the thing. You can just grab Czern. I think he did it, but I think this is a flee from security to try and get out of here.
That seems appropriate.
Yeah, bundle him into your speeder and get out.
Okay, I'm gonna be rolling with heat, which it turns out that my heat is pretty decent at a -1. Oh, that is actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I put in a
terrible.
1. It did negative. Yeah, I rolled actually a 9. I put in a +1.
9.
I'm supposed to put
Okay.
in -1 for heat.
Yeah.
Sorry, screw that
No
up.
worries.
That is. I can escape the authorities by sacrificing something. The MC will tell you what your freedom will cost you this time.
Dang
it.
I mean, you know what it's going to cost you to get away from here, right? The obvious thing is that you're getting away, right? And you're pulling out of there, but you're going to have to ditch this speeder and Czern when the cops come, like hunting you down. You can get away, or they're going to snatch him up.
Dang it. All right. Yeah, that's. I'll come back for you.
Yeah, I imagine this
Harder.
is like a chase, you know, like you've got him in the speeder and you're doing well, but then there's like a checkpoint, right? And the stormtroopers and like a hovering gun, like TIE fighter, you know, just like guns trained on all of the speeders. And as they go down, like knocking on the things, right, they just come to one with an emptied speeder door. and you drop down from the bottom of the speeder, landing on one underneath, and get away while Czern is just like, and you hear a, hey, is this the one? Oh, we've been looking for this guy for forever. Call him into security. Yeah. So yeah, Czern has now been taken in by CSF.
Dang it, that's worse. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right. I did my thing.
It didn't go well. I wondered if you were going to call up SCARA for a hit on Black Sun.
I don't think those guys are Black Sun.
No, they were Czern's henchmen.
Yeah, they're just dogs.
Yeah. Czern has been lying to his wife and saying that it's all
Yeah.
Black Sun that's forcing him to do this, but really
Yep.
he's just
He's running it. That's I was that's the feeling I was getting. Cool.
good. Okay, so you know, I think that's another stress though, as well. That's don't you?
Then I will be stressed out. That sounds amazing and appropriate. I'm
Because this does not go well.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna end up going back to my apartment now.
Yeah, you go back to your apartment. Trent's still there.
Oh, do you want to cut back to SCARA and Boxy?
No, we're not going to do a full scene here. I just want to see
Okay.
what it is that you do with Trent. Trent is very kind of like, you know, wakes up and looks at you and realizes that she's in your bed.
Hey,
Hey,
I didn't know you even knew where I lit. How did you get here?
your droid told me you wanted me here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do.
Make a stress move or resist it. If you
Uh,
resist it,
I
I just get to give you some hard move back. That's it.
I think I will just go ahead and indulge in a stress move. Yep. There we go.
Is it going to be
Meaningless sex. It's
meaningless sex?
Yeah. Roll plus hustle. Oh Lord. My hustle is flat. This is so bad. That's an 8.
You clear a stress.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think you know, we'll tell you what. So SCARA, I think this is as good a time as any to have the SCARA. You've been having you know, I think actually there is a one-to-one with Inez. I think we need to have a one-to-one with Inez and you, right? Like when you've calmed down and everything, right? And Inez calls you in. And she looks at you. How can you do this to me? You remember what it was like under Jaldar. All this violence, meaningless violence, not serving any purpose. What did that serve?
You shouldn't be asking me. You should be asking Baku.
Baku. I saw you beat him with his own leg in front of everybody. You think he can swallow that?
You shouldn't have started it if you can't take it.
Started it. I will find out who started it. But you need to be cleverer than that, SCARA. And in fact, I think you need to justify your behavior here.
Yeah, that sounds right. That's face. My face is 1. I don't know if I'm spelling her name right,
I mean, it doesn't matter in the.
but that's a 12. So
Nice, nice. Let me just see NPCs and the stress. She doesn't accept your reasoning. She gets angry. That's the, it was all supposed to be, we were supposed to make things peaceful, Scara. It doesn't matter who started it. Now we have to finish it. Now I have to choose. You made me do this. Get out of my sight. Mark of stress, I think.
yeah.
Boxy, would you like to try and do your diffuse things now?
Yeah. So I think this is going to be an actual dinner that I set up for Inez. This is something that I used to do back in the time, but I don't anymore because I was a gift to ETEMA. But I think this is kind of, Boxy says, just like old times. And, sets a plate, sets some intoxicants out, some nice wine or something like that. And I actually set 2 places, one for her, and then Scara comes out, right? And I kind of bring Scara over and I set Scara down. And of course, Inez is at the head of the table. And Inez, I serve Inez first, and then I serve Scara.
I want to just do a little rewind to when you were talking to Inez about this, like you're going to arrange a meal and talk everything over and everything. And Inez says, yeah, and you say, like I used to back when I was your droid. And she says, oh, yes, I do miss you sometimes, Boxy, but what do you mean? You're still my droid.
I am, through the transitive properties of ownership, I own, ETEMA owns me and you own ETEMA. Yes.
Yes, you understand.
Yes.
Not always such a clever droid. But and she fiddles with the restraining bolt. But you still have this thing on. What a shame.
And you see,
I was at my partner's in the oil tap, the oil bath, not so long ago. They made so many compelling arguments on why a free droid could be a perfect business partner.
partner, tool, I mean, sure. And he kind of shies away like it's sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says, well, a droid is no more a tool than a sentient. We're all just tools in the end, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. She leans forward and says, maybe you could have no owner but me, huh? And you could be owned in the same way that everybody is owned, rather than this crude thing.
Yes. What are you proposing? What would that take?
We have to keep eyes on the ones we love. We have to look out for them. We have to make sure they're acting in their own best interests. You just make sure you keep me informed on whatever ETEMA is doing. She can get so carried away.
Okay. Of course, Boxy will agree to this, but I think that's going to require a justify your behavior or whatever it takes because, Boxy knows a lot about ETEMA right now because he's been recording all of her messages without her knowing. So I think I have to sort of lie to Inez to hold anything back.
Go for it.
Yeah. And is that justify your behavior?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. I rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8. Yeah.
8.
So let me tell you what I answer. I say, ETEMA is like everyone else ETEMA has her own wishes and desires. I am trying. I have always tried to make sure that her wishes and desires meet with yours, Inez. And whenever she gets off the rails a little bit, I've already tried to direct her back towards you and your group, because that's what's important.
Yeah. Do we think that it's okay to have had Boxy take a Czern back to her speeder in the morning? Is that yeah?
If
They
Rich
basically
is
have
okay with
Boxy
it,
away, yeah?
if Rich is okay with it, I think that ETEMA probably calls Boxy to take her home, to take
Yeah,
Czern
that's what I
home.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So you tell me what ETEMA is doing, and you tell me who ETEMA is doing.
So ETEMA is meeting with people, and I don't. First off, what she is doing is she is meeting with people, and I don't know. Oh, I'm talking about other people. Czern is a different story. Czern, ETEMA told me to make sure that Czern was safe, so I took her back to her apartment, and then I picked her up. I picked Czern up the next morning, to take her home. I don't know what transpired, because
I
just
think
like
you know.
I can guess,
Yeah.
but I don't have any proof. I
But
can't prove anything.
yeah. So you're answering with total honesty
Yes.
that you took Czern home
Yes.
and something, yeah, so you don't mark a stress, but Inez knows that Czern stayed over that night.
Yeah.
And
Yes, absolutely.
came away looking much happier in the morning, you know?
And I think during this process, Boxy described, she was disheveled from all of how intoxicated she got and all of that. But she was happy about all of this, which is odd. She didn't seem as hungover as she should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Inez smiles and says, "Good right." And I think that's what she was really asking about, right?
Yeah.
So you've agreed. So Inez is offering you essentially freedom to be her little spy on ETEMA, as well as ETEMA's little spy on everything else, right?
Right.
And yes, okay. And then we cut to that dinner, which is supposed to be, I think you've suggested it as like old times, we're all friends. You, the three of you, you built this organization, you ended Black Sun and Jaldar Ko's reign of terror, right? This is the real core of the group now, not Bakureu and stuff. Like, he's out on and I think this is fulfilling your end of the bargain with SCARA as well, because it's keeping him out in the cold rather than whatever, right? Inez is very frosty, of course, with SCARA.
But I think that Boxy does whatever he can in order to, I guess, talk SCARA up. Like, SCARA, I heard you took care of that person that was, real quietly. And I heard, boy, it pissed the cops off, something awful. But it might have even pissed off the cops that stole all that money from Jaldar Ko.
Yeah. Yes, that was such a fortunate event. Really played out well, but you can always rely on Officer Hera to act in his own best interests. Please enjoy this when you arrange a relaxing diversion for someone roll with plus face, right? So if you'd like to roll that, and I will allow you to have this hold can be spent on any of the three participants in this this evening. And I think Inez initially, says, isn't this lovely? She holds ETEMA's hand and clutches it, and then she goes, what's this cut, darling?
Well, I found our cook, but it didn't go well.
Oh, what a shame. She lets go of your hand. Amaratavi will not be pleased. And Skara, I'm so glad we could be friends again, and we could talk like we used to. You know, Boxy's right. Everything here, 8 lives, we took this from Jalda together. And that is important to me. The 3 of us and Czern. And she slams the glass down a bit too heavily as she says that last name. I would never, ever choose Baku over you, Skara. I promise.
I'm glad to hear that.
What did you roll on your please enjoy this?
I got a 9.
A 9. So you hold
Just
one.
hold one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I would help you in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would help. I really want this to go well. It seems like a nice, important dinner. So I'll help. After you've rolled wagering stress, I will wager 1 stress
Uh-huh.
because that's all I've got to wager. And here we go. It's an 8. On a hit, you give them a +1. So I'll do that. On 7 to 9, you mark however much stress you wagered on the roll. So I'm stressed out again.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's probably that mention of Czern, right?
Yeah, that seems somehow appropriate.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a 10. So you got a hold +2 on please enjoy this. And Ez leans back and says, well, as you know, it is not easy to be the leader here. I hope you all understand that. Friends, enemies, you have to draw a balance between all of them. And I am no Jedi. It is hard to bring balance. I rely on you, my most trusted friends. And she clasps both of your hands, right? And she smiles at Boxy directly through the glinting eye as she says it. All of you, my closest, my loved ones. And we have problems. Baku, he is right. It is an insult, and he's important. He brings in the money. He pushes the stuff. Even with the Bad Batch, hitting our numbers, killing off our customers. But I could never throw you to it, Skara. I had hoped, and she lets go of ETEMA's hand, that my lieutenants could solve some of our problems in the short term. Rather than create new ones, and she lets go of Skara's hand. But we do not have a good source of spice. We simply have that stupid cook, Oyunu Varn, and his disaster on the streets. Hutt overdosed. Not good news, not a good look for 1313. Our roots of world are gone, and our answer lies in the hands of CSF. But we can always count on our loved ones to look out for us, right? Our loved ones are always our most useful assets. I mean, feel free, guys. Otherwise, she's going to just do this. That's her ominous speech for the evening.
So I think Boxy is going to actually, agree with her and step forward like he normally does and say, well, it's a good idea, ma'am. We should definitely see about getting a better cook. And and maybe we can get maybe ETEMA here can get the cook out of jail, or SCARA can. And then whenever Inez mentions the routes off world are blocked to us, Boxy steps forward and says, "Oh, we should look for more routes going off world," and looks at ETEMA, meaningfully.
Did you get anything on that underground? If they're getting Imperials off world, Boxy, then maybe we can use that to get product back in.
I'm working on it. I think that SCARA here might help me find out what's going on, and we'll be like one big family again. But right now, I'm just.
Can you refill me, please?
Yeah, and I think, whenever Boxy refills her, I think that this is getting close to.
Keep pouring.
Yeah,
little more.
This is getting close to the end of the dinner, and Boxy pulls out the what's the right word? The the post dinner dessert, which I think is some stems or something like that, and sets them off.
It's a tray. It's a little tray of every little thing, right? Available,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
ETEMA, you're in 5 stress, aren't you?
Oh, I'm about to get drunk.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Yeah. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Actually,
do you want to spend any of your hold for please enjoy this before? Boxing?
Yeah, so I think this would be directed towards Inez. Who are you hunting? And I know she's hunting everyone, but let's look for specifically. Yeah.
Czern Visick. Specifically, what does Czern care about? Because ETEMA clearly went with nothing in her hands and no way of, didn't even try and strain her finances to convince him. But you can get out, springing someone from CSF is just a matter of a bribe, but an arrogant dick like Czern is going to require something else, right? Something that he cares about. Something like his wife.
Yeah. And I'll have that conversation with ETEMA later. And then the other question is, what threat do you pose to us, me and my owner? I guess that would be me and ETEMA.
Yes, yeah, in that sense, yeah. You belong to Amara, to Inez. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to kill you. She cares about you in her own way, right? But she's seen what happens when you don't own 1313. When you allow other people's problems to become your problems.
Mm-hmm.
So the threat is that if you're more of a problem than you are a help, you're not long for this world.
And I think, so what Boxy's take on this is during the meal, he has tried to put Inez and ETEMA together, knowing that they will always feel better once they have had their time with each other.
So I think the drink that you serve is like the classic, Corellian sunset cocktails that they had together. They always drank together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think whenever I set down the bowl of drugs, it's, just far enough away that where they both reach, they might brush hands or something like that. And I just want to try and encourage that. Yeah.
Okay. You gonna get cocking drunk, ETEMA?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and
right here at the dinner. Just
messy wine drunk kind of style. I'm imagining
it's too much stress. It's too much.
So ETEMA's just been knocking back the alcohol throughout the whole evening, right? And then like this, comes out in front, and ETEMA just like grabs the bottle, I think, and
that seems about right. Dang, that hurts.
ooh, that's an 8. So on an 8, The drugs take a toll. Take a drug
Oh, wait,
move off
wait,
the
wait.
list.
I
Okay,
actually,
trust track.
wait, I haven't rolled. That was the help with the
Oh,
meal roll. Sorry.
Ah,
I roll a grit. Sorry. And that's a -1. So it's probably going to go worse. Hold on. Don't worry. Weird. If you enter a negative.
I think
Okay.
you have to do it as like +/-1.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you hit negative off the number key, it says nan. So I had to enter 1, then go back before the 1 and enter negative. That's how I ended up screwing up that heat roll earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, that's terrible.
Oof.
XP on a miss.
No,
No,
Oh.
no XP on a miss.
no.
I was prepared
On a
to go
miss,
in
you're
and
in
help
deep.
you,
May the
but,
force. Don't even bother. There's no way you could do that. Yes, +1's all you can give me. But thank you for the thought. Yeah, on a miss, may the force be with you, is what it says.
Rich, I'm gonna clear this key in advance when you cross a line that exposes you to retribution, right? Now,
Yeah.
I can come up with something, but I feel like if you wanted to take that, I don't want to take that opportunity away from you, right? Because I think fictionally, this is as good a chance as any to
Sounds good.
cross some sort of line that can open you up to the
say that's the
retribution.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So
Oh.
you tell me what you do that what line you cross between you and Inez. And feel free to have her mention that perhaps we should pick up Ebler, or that wife of Czern's. He'll soon talk that way, or whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
the Ebla thing, like I made promises to
Baden
the
Finn.
Alliance that she's not to be harmed. You can't do that. There's no way I'll let you do that. I'll work with CSF. I'll take care of this. I get things done. It's just like a screaming, kind of screeching, shoving plates off of the table, getting in Inez's face, saying, "You wouldn't even have this position if it wasn't for me. I killed," it's just like list off the people that I killed. It's just like, it's no holds barred. Everything that she may have ever swallowed up for the past several months, from Black Sun to transition to Hutt Cartel. It's not good. It's not respectful. It's not loving, although there is a core of like, and I care about you and you need to fix this, but it's all bad. So yeah, that's the thing.
And after Inez has her little moment, or has her reaction, I think Boxy steps in and tries to either, drugs ETEMA to take her away, or, diffuse the situation somewhat. But I want Inez's reaction first.
I think Inez, like her fangs, and she says, "This is the life. This is what it is down here. You think that, what? You think you're special? You think you're above this? You think you're better than me?" And she slaps you in the face, right? Like hard as hell, knocking you like back onto over the table, spilling everything everywhere. Boxy, I think you need to take a stress. This dinner is not going as planned.
Right.
And SCARA, do you need to take a stress? Yeah, you can take a stress as well.
I think Scara's just trying not to get in the middle of this, but she's ready to jump in if this goes further than a slap to the face and screaming, basically.
Well, I'm imagining that, like, and you're on your full stress, you made a miss, you crossed that line, right? I think after that hit, right, and the knock across the table, I think ETEMA, she's a fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You come straight back up and you smash Inez in the face, and then it all goes very, very, very still. And Inez's face just freezes for a second. And then she says, Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. We've had too much to drink. Scara, take her home. Deal with her.
You want me dead? Do it yourself.
And you stride out of the room, I imagine.
No, just stand right there. Don't make Scara do this. You want me dead because I just hit you. Do it.
I don't want you dead. You silly little fool.
You just told her to take care of me.
Chris.
I'm not stupid. I know what
She
Scara
picks-
does now.
And she does it well. Unlike you. I'm done with this. Boxy. Scara, this is a mess that ETEMA has left for us to clean up once more. And she leaves.
And Boxy goes over to ETEMA and says, Mistress, I'm so sorry. I'll clean all of this up and take care of it. What would you like for me? Where would you like for me to take you?
Scara's supposed to take care of me. Clean this up.
I'll take her home. You just if Ines is, if she sends someone, you let me know.
Nice, so you've still got ETEMA's back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, between ETEMA and Ines, I'm backing ETEMA every day of the week. I mean, Ines is not stable, obviously, and
Ines isn't
I
stable?
still care about ETEMA.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I think the conclusion from that last scene was not that Ines isn't stable. It's that
This
ETEMA
is
isn't
more stable than
I mean, they're both crazy, but I mean, I care about ETEMA.
Yeah, you still
Oh.
care about ETEMA then. Okay, that's I think that's the more, because from the perspective of a drug lord, Inez is acting quite rational.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
when we think about
but,
Jaldar to Ines, Ines is good at her job. She just has some people who are screwing stuff up. So if like I'd love to carve out a little bit of that scene with ETEMA and Scar on the ride home, because if I can confess sins, I will do that. My cover's blown, I guess, kind of. Like I gotta take another key. I don't want to take arrogance. Like I don't feel like ETEMA's in a space to take arrogance as a key. Is it okay if I look at other keys at some point?
No, that's literally how keys work, is when you cleared one out, you can take another one from any playbook. So
okay, for me,
you're only stuck to your playbook's keys at the start. With every one you cross out, you can take a key from any playbook or your remaining key.
And as Scar is driving, like ETEMA, all the spit and fire and everything from other, it's all like broken and crumbled, and she's just crying mess. And she just kind of scoots across the speeder to like put her head on Scar's shoulder, and she will admit, like, I thought I could take care of all of it, and I just wanted to make Inez happy, and now she hates me, and I don't even know why why would she say that? Why would she say that? Of course I know what that means. Take care of. Can't believe she just wanted to scare me. I'm so sorry. I was trying to make Czern happy because I know she's ruining her life and it's got to be dragging you down. And so I thought if I could figure out what's wrong with her, then I could fix it. And then we slept together, but I can't tell the Nez that because she feels like it's an insult when it's just sex. I don't care about Czern at all. I was just doing it to help you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
I've screwed everything up.
Scara's used to taking care care people who are way out of it from back with the gang when they were doing all kinds of crap.
Should we roll a confess your sins?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we will
yeah.
see how this goes through, basically.
Do I get anything out of it, or is
Yeah.
it just terrible?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh, 7. Finally, something. On a 7th tonight, you must perform your penance before you return to confession. But I do get to clear on a hit. I find forgiveness. I clear my stress track. Okay, so how does this go, Scara? How do you handle my blubbering mess?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Scara's used to handling people who are wasted in various ways. So she's basically just trying to keep you calm, basically calm you down and make sure you feel okay. But the thing with Czern is sensitive. That's got to be the penance thing. I'm not sure what makes sense though. You got to be honest with Czern. She's okay with having a bit of fun, but she has to know what's what, or if you lead her on, if you hurt her by leading her on, then
Keep Czern safe.
yeah, I think that's yeah.
Because remember that, never mind the emotional thing, ETEMA's just put a massive crosshair on Czern.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
I mean, that's how you say it, right? But that's the penance, is basically like, look out for Czern.
Yeah.
So
because
if you want to make a note of that somewhere, you can't confess your sins to SCARA again until you've made a note. You've saved Czern from this entanglement.
Yeah, because I'm looking into this thing with the Imperials, with the imps, and Ines doesn't trust me, so I can't keep Czern safe on my own.
Okay, yeah, I'll just lock her in a room with that blood. That sounds good.
So
yeah, maybe figure out how in the morning.
Okay.
can we actually say that Boxy was the one driving the two of you home? I think the window was closed, so you guys had privacy. And once I get you back to, I think legitimately, but I think that once I get you out, I'm going to tuck you in. Rich, is it okay if I screw you over?
Of course.
Awesome.
I mean, I kind of planned on it.
I'm going to tuck you in, and I'm going to say, as I tuck you in, I'm going to say, I think that some mistakes were made tonight, and Inez means a lot to both of us. She's given you, so much, and I think Boxy let slip that she's promised him freedom if he is loyal to Inez. I think that indicates a betrayal of ETEMA to Inez.
Oh, that was already a betrayal.
Yes, but this is confessing a betrayal.
Oh, nice.
And if I confess betrayal, I tell you to fill your stress track.
Oh my God.
And I remove stress for each one that you take.
Bastard. I love it.
I saw that when you revealed that you betrayed
so
someone. Tell them to fill that stress track. Clear all that stress.
But now at least you know that Inez is working me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's why I asked. That's why I asked permission, is because you tried really hard, Rich, 3 times to clear your stress track, and I kept jerking you over.
Yeah.
Can
so,
I suggest that the way this is revealed is ETEMA's been tucked away and everything, right? And there's been, supposedly passed out. And then Boxy, stands in the middle of the apartment, right? Like droid still. And then like projects out a little hologram of Inez and Scar in the back seat. And ETEMA saying, I'll keep Trent safe. I'll make sure, okay?
Oh,
I'll keep her
perfect.
safe.
God.
I love that. That's great. Yeah,
And that's being broadcast to
Inez.
Inez, like over the thing, right? And ETEMA just closes the door, like maybe there's even, but you hear the noise, so like it's not open that you both know, but you've both got enough of a reason. You've got enough of a reason to suspect that ETEMA might know about this kind of thing.
I hear a squeak from the door or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sweet. Okay. I need the toilet, so let's do another 5-minute break.
And we're back.
Okay. So that dinner did not go well at all. So Czern is in CSF custody. ETEMA has a hangover and quite a big distance between, I think, in the days to come. Inez is not picking up a comm link for you. She doesn't come and call round. She doesn't do anything of that nature. Is there anything that Boxy would like to do?
So the 2 things that Boxy wants to do, number 1 is help ETEMA pursue getting Czern out of custody.
Mm-hmm.
To
I
see if
am
we,
actually thinking that I'm going to roll that into Alexi's love letter, because that seems the
perfect.
perfect opportunity, right? Because he's a CSF officer. As a love letter, he was
And
staking out Czern's place when you came.
and the second one would be to pursue the Imp Railroad to see if we can't find out some way that these people are getting off.
So maybe Gant Argon, this loudmouth who likes to watch the pit fights. He's your link in there, right?
Right.
Maybe you can get some more information out of him.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think I set up a fight. It's exactly the kind of fight that Gant would like. It's loud and messy, and there's going to be a lot of action. And I'm going to then make sure whenever he comes in that I'm aware of it, and make sure that he has a his money is good there at the brawling place, the Sarlacc's Belly.
Do you want to do the custom move of the Sarlacc's Belly? Because so when you bet a lot of money on a fight, roll plus hustle, and the way I know that's more sort of along the lines of you're betting on the fight, but you own the Sarlacc's Belly, right? So you're the house. What I'm imagining is that you could take his money, and that would be a hold over him, and then you could, you know what I mean? Like the +1 to the proposer deal would be, don't worry about that bet, Gant. We can. Does that sound good? If you're not interested in it, you can just go straight to a pressure someone or whatever. Get the truth.
I don't think I want to pressure him. I think I want to propose a deal. So you're exactly right. If I can, encourage him to place silly bets that don't pay off, then I've got some leverage on it. So that sounds great.
So roll plus hustle, and you know what? I'm going to give you a +1 on this because you own the Sarlacc's Belly. It's your place, right? So you can do whatever you can to rig this as much as possible in your favor.
Okay, so I rolled a 10. My hustle is a 1 plus another 1 makes it a 12.
Okay, so you can clear stress as you take cash from more than just Gant, and he's grumbling. I swear that. Wait, what was your? I want to look at some of the weird creatures you've got on there. I swear that Gundark was sedated. There's no way he could have taken that Wampa. Here's your money, bucket of bolts.
And I'm like, I think that I kind of wave some of the other attendees over, and they start taking money from the other bettors.
Hmm.
And I take Gaunt off to the side. I kind of put my arm around him, and I'm like, Gaunt, you know, just between us, you're one of my favorite patrons around here. I always look forward to whenever you come here. And I think we can work something out so that your debt isn't as big as your loss was. So what exactly do you know about all these people getting off planet? As you know, that's always useful information to have. And I'd really appreciate it if either you tell me what you know or you find out what you can and feed it back to me.
What does a little droid want with these Imperials? That's business, droid. And he pats you on the shoulder. That's for the real people to worry about. What do you offer? You would have to offer something. I don't run on oil baths and recharges, you know.
Yeah. And he says, well, of course, those that are getting off world have to come back. And when they come back, they can always bring fantastic entrance here for the Sarlacc's belly. I have a need, as you can tell, I need a new Wampa, right? I need a new, I need some of these people to come in and be more exciting.
Okay.
And
so the route off world is also, you want it for it to be a route back on world as well. That's your framing for that. But
that is my
what are you
framing. I'm lying him,
offering?
and I'm offering him, to forgive some of his debt, some of what he just lost.
Some. Okay. Roll
Yeah.
plus face with your +1.
So that's an 8. +2 is 10.
10. Yeah, he goes along with that. He owes you big. Because otherwise he was going to force you to strain your finances to sweeten the deal.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, you go big.
I think if it was I forgave all of his debt, that would require me to justify what was going on to Inez. But I think some of the debt I can hide off on the side, and he only has to pay a little bit of it, but the rest of it I can kind of shuffle the books a little bit.
Well, I mean, you don't even need to. You saw it. It's good.
Yeah.
This isn't. You forgive the debt that you just give him back the money that he's got now, and you clear some of the debt that he's. You put down some of your own money as his your household money as like the payment on his outstanding debt to the cartel. Yeah, and he says, well, we have them running through Sheev spaceport. We have a deal with the Loaders Union there. The imps come through. We make sure no one asks questions, set them up with a whole new life off-world. Inez knows everything about it. Who do you think made the whole thing come together?
And it's only Imperials who get to go?
Anyone who has the creds, but guess who has the creds?
I see. And, they talk a little bit about the money, like, why haven't you headed off? You have all these creds. Why haven't you headed off world yet? And
are you kidding? The cartel would have my head before I got to the Outer Rim. Anyway, this is my guy, Has Wapfo. The Gungan. Good guy, though. Tough son of a bitch.
Gungans, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
and I think
you got
Boxy
it.
kind of takes all of that back. And so if just to make sure I'm clear, I asked SCARA for her help. ETEMA had requested this information from about the Imperial exodus, how they were getting off. Did Inez want any of this information?
Inez knows this information.
Okay. So Inez
This is
didn't
Inez's
ask me about
hustle.
it.
No, Inez would only care in the sense that don't jeopardize one of her money tickets. Do you know what I mean? You have to remember that in the world of the underworld, the crime lord gets a cut of everything, right? You get rid of that cut, she will care if it's gone.
Yeah.
But
If I
that's what
remember,
ETEMA wants.
yeah, if I remember correctly, there was something about maybe we could open up drug routes if we take it off planet.
Mhm.
And is this our way to? Is this a way to do that, or is Ines already doing that?
No, Inez is not doing that. She hasn't got the leverage to get in. She hasn't got the
Or-
contacts.
Or possibly the good drugs, because we
Yeah.
don't have a good cook yet. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, basically there was two routes to the problem. You could either secure a route off-world, right? Smuggling things off-world, but that same smuggling route is just for simplicity also the way that they're taking the Imperials out, right?
Okay.
But at the moment, that's the only deal that's standing. Haswapfo hasn't agreed to bring in drugs, and it's going to take some doing, right? The smuggling the Imperials off-world is easy, because who does he have to bribe? Other Imperials who may one day want a route off-world themselves, right? But the drug trade is a different story.
I see.
Yeah.
So I think I go back to ETEMA with this information. Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, SCARA, I think you and Czern need a word, right?
Yeah, probably.
Czern runs one per way. The race is down there. There's a pod race going on. You can see in one of those little boxes kind of thing over the tracks. You know, there's like flying droids, camera capturing it all in lots of different positions. And it goes basically through like, you know, shafts and lifts and half constructed things. And then it bursts out into this long, like scrap level, like junkyard sort of thing. And then comes back around again, right? And, you know, the sort of like the start of the race and the boxes and things, and you can see in the boxes Bakure is betting on there, right? But his men just sort of like stare daggers at you as you go across. And Czern is you know, like sat in one of the in like the biggest box, you know, looking out over all of it, while her friends go and like run the numbers, you know, do the bookies, take their her crew is basically like taking the bets, keeping this thing going. And Czern, yeah, what do you say?
Things are a bit touchy at the moment.
Yeah, why'd you go and where'd you hit that piece of? You can't go around hitting every Minoc, you know? Not Minocs that have friends, SCARA. We're gonna get killed.
He was talking hoodoo about, and now I don't remember.
Later.
Leto. He was talking hoodoo about Leto, and
she blanches when you say the name later. Like takes a firm like puff on the big hookah thing that she's got next to her, like yeah. Yeah, well, can't hurt Latel. She's fucking dead.
yeah, but he was using her to hurt me, to hurt you. We're the ones left.
Yeah, we're the only ones left. Well, piece of poodoo's bet big on this race, and she presses a few buttons, and you know you see like a thing. She's betting on that Doug in the red over there, his pod. look at that slimy piece of. Let's throw him in a Death Star. If I could.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, is there anything in particular you want to push towards or whatever, right? Because she's taking care of business. He's betting on the races. Otherwise,
I just want her to be careful. That's what I'm trying to get through to her. And it's not in her nature to be careful, really. Not since everything that's
I
happened.
think when you say be careful, she says, "Oh, don't worry, I won't go start any fights in the middle of 8 Lives right in front of the crime lord who controls all of our things. You know, I won't spit on any packs. I won't go all I'll leave that to you." And you know, racist stuff, and then you know, the Jawa comes over and he's like, and she's like, kicks it down the stairs, and it like swears at her. She goes, "Goddamn Tenwa clan."
Yeah, so
You're not
you
going to
told
bet?
your customers that way?
Customers? Please. Tenwa clan. Little cocky piece.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I know I blew up at Baku, but until this ends one way or the other, just don't do anything to upset the Nets.
Fine. And you know, the race goes on. Baku wins big. You know, pays out. Grudging smile on Czern's face. Baku is so full of slime as he does it. He bows deeply to you and says, "Oh, I think I can afford a new leg with this one. And a new blaster. Be seeing you,
By a
Scara."
spare.
Oh yeah, don't worry. And he leaves. And Czern says, "Look, you want to lift back down? I'll get my guys, bring the speed around." Come on, we can do some spice in the back.
I've got some leg work I need to do.
And then she stops for a second and laughs when you say leg work. Yeah.
Yeah, not that kind.
Yeah.
Just work,
Cool.
you know.
Yeah. And her speeder is brought round, one of the guys. She smiles at you and she says, "Okay, well, you know, I've still got your back, Scara. It's nice to know you still got mine."
Always.
Now she turns, you see one of her men, like, you know, leaning on the thing of the car, goes inside. The speeder like powers up, explodes. Czern is about to get hit by this in the moment of the thing. You're close enough that you can push your luck to try and save her.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. That's not good. I have a -1. That's a 3. That's so bad.
I mean, I'm tempted to have you get cocking shot here.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Let me just have a quick look at the get cocking shot thing again. I don't want you to just die instantly here, you know. This is the problem with Cartel, is that you want to keep your PCs become your darlings as well, right? And all the
mean-
threads and things. But
I mean, if
We're,
I
we're in
get,
late season Walking Dead now. No.
yeah, that's true. You know what? I think you get. I think Tren is.
I mean, if I get the choice to keep that I save Trem, but I get carting shot, then that's fine with me.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's put it down to I'll give you a difficult choice even on the miss, right? It's Tren gets hurt and you get carking shot, or Tren just dies and you lose your gang.
Yeah, I'll save her life.
Okay,
It's what there
you
is.
push Tren out of the way. Both of you get caught in the blast, right?
Yeah.
Roll. Is it a blaster pistol or other small weapon? No, it's a fairly powerful car bomb. So that is it's not a +1. They aren't trying to kill you, I don't think, because you're not in the car. This is not how it's intended to be. And you do have cover, so that's a +2 total.
+2. Okay. Seven. I don't know if that's good or bad.
So close. You choose one and the shooter chooses one. First up, I need to make that a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
There we go.
bloody, it's messy, it's painful.
So you choose one and I choose one.
Oof. It feels kind of cheap to pick it's messy, actually. I think it has to be bloody. This is super dangerous. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
It's bloody. And it is messy. You know what happens? You lose your leg below the knee.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Okay. Tren is injured as well. You're hurt. Boxy, you, and so who do you go to with this information about you go to ETEMA about it, right?
Yeah.
So ETEMA now knows about the spaceport.
Well, I'm going to tell her basically bits and pieces like if you need to get off world, it's going through the spaceport. I have a connection with these people that I can help out with. Are we looking to get drugs off world, or what's the purpose of this?
You want me to tell you that, Boxy?
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
No.
no.
We don't have those conversations anymore. You do what I say. That's how this works.
Okay, I can help if you give
You could
me
help, but you
like-
want your freedom, and I want you to earn it. But you're gonna have to work harder.
I understand. I'll work as hard as I can.
ETEMA, do you reinforce this with the restraining bolt?
Yeah, I think so.
Mark stress, Boxy.
Yeah.
You shut off as Boxy is speaking. You just stop him like instantly, right?
Yeah. I've got to remind him who has the power here, which is not me, but I think I do.
Yeah, gross. And in fact, ETEMA, make a stress move.
Oh, really?
You're on 5 stress. You're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You're
I
having it
know.
out with your droid.
Okay. What am
Yeah,
I
you could-
Push
doing?
your buttons.
What am I?
Uh,
What move am I hitting? Just
What
shout a
move are
beat
you
down?
hitting? I mean, what I'm saying is it's up to you. You can leave the scene and engage in something else, or you can just refuse to do it, and you know, there'll be a consequence of some kind for that.
I'm not gonna refuse to do it. I'm just trying to figure out which one.
There's verbally abuse or shame someone. There's dish out, beat down.
Yeah, I think I will not switch Boxy off. I just have the thing, and then I go get a wrench and I beat on Boxy for a while.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna. I mean, we can. I think even the use of the restraining bolt can classify as a dish out, beat down, right?
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, but I think there needs to be some obvious damage where Boxy has like a dent or two, or maybe something's not working right or something.
Oh, I think like an overloaded surge, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's like a shock kind of thing running through, because you never really fully see what, you know, they're not really fleshed out, right? I'm imagining it as like when you try and act against what it does, it just like overwhelms you.
Mhm.
So you're like sparking and
Evil. God, I'm bad. I'm a bad. That ETEMA is so bad. Dang it. Okay.
okay.
Cool. So let me roll my dish out a beatdown. I'm rolling with savagery, which I'm relatively savage. Jeez, man, the dice hate me right now. That is an 8. I clear 1 stress. I heard him, but it's not enough.
You feel too bad, I think, to follow through on it fully. You know what I mean? Like it's and then Boxy, I'm sorry. You know what happens? You do that, and it reminds you of the Imperials with their shot collars and their slaves and how they take it out on everybody below them. Is that what you've
And
become down here?
Boxy thanks you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard. That's good.
When you verbally abuse or shame someone you care about, roll plus face, Boxy.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I'm even going to
Oh.
say, you know, you have to mark another stress, I think, on top of that for the
Oh yeah.
beatdown, right? But now you can roll plus, because I think you have shamed them with that, right? Is that what you intended to do with the thank you? Or was that like,
No. My
No.
intention was to deceive her to let her know she was in charge.
okay.
Yeah.
I do feel as though that would make ETEMA ashamed though, you know, whether you intended it or not.
Yeah.
So let's see, roll with face.
Okay. I rolled a 9 and my face is 2, so that's an 11.
You clear your stress track.
And I
And she-
tell them to mark stress.
And they mark stress. ETEMA is not. Yeah, I mean, this, to be fair, ETEMA is coming apart at the seams, right? Like her mission
Yeah.
didn't go well. She's fallen out with her lover. Her droid is spying on her. And when she tries to seize control of it, she looks in the mirror and she sees what she's becoming down here. What happened to the mission? What happens to her? Yeah. So I feel Rich always gets screwed over on these stress moves, but
You think so? You feel that? Or can you look at the die roller and see that statistically you're so right?
yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess you could just have some sex with your new move, though.
I can, but no
Mhm.
one will. Like, I have to be intimate. Nobody's going to be intimate with ETEMA now.
I mean, and I think the last thing of interest, you know, that's where that scene goes, right? Is with Boxy saying, "Thank you, mistress. Of course, you are my owner. I will do as you ask." Yeah, and that sort of horrified look as the restraining bolt controller drops to the ground, like out of numb fingers, and the look in the mirror, and then Scara, who do you think gets called to 13 to refuge 1313 out of these characters? Well,
Sorry,
in fact, you are rushed to 1313. Your leg is missing. You're gonna
Yeah.
die soon, right? Czern is like clutching your hand and like, come on, baby, come on, I can't lose another one. I can't lose another one. God fucking damn it. Come on. And she's screaming at Payden Fenn at the door. Who's like, no, I don't treat you people. You people can buy your own. Don't bring this violence here. And you're swimming around to consciousness again. Trying to make the move for refuge 1313. When you are badly wounded and go to the refuge for treatment, roll plus heat.
Yeah. My heat is 1. That's an 8.
I don't even have the supplies to treat you. Do you understand? We don't have them. You people just take and take and take. It's going to make you require you to strain your finances to pay it off.
Yeah, and that where's that move? There.
That move is, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have not recently come into a large sum of credit.
No, you didn't bet.
Yeah. You will accept something counterfeit stolen.
You'll probably, I mean, I would say that as you'll accept like whatever they can do to help you, you know,
Absolutely.
might not be great.
Contact with useful connections.
I would allow you to have that one. You've got, you know, people who have money.
Yeah.
In
So
fact,
that's
I'll allow you to have that one because Czern is also trying to help you, you know, like, and you can call upon your gang's resources there.
Mm-hmm.
So roll plus 2.
2. Eight.
8. Yeah, when you you come to, right? They pump out the Bacta tank. Czern is right by, waiting there for you. And she says, Payden Fenn says, you know, and she's looking like, she just bites her lip and looks out the thing and says, I squared all of it away. We're going to be short for the take this week. But you're worth it more. I don't care what that bitch says. So she's not going to have enough money to pay what she owes Inez this month. And she's then Payden Fenn comes in and goes, you know, actually no, a Deveronian woman comes in. A young, nervous-looking Deveronian woman comes in, who looks like frankly terrified at everything. You know, like she looks at the two of you nervously and she says, listen, we just wanted to make sure that you took this. Make sure you take them every day. It'll help with the rejection. And her eyes go down your leg and you realize you're not feeling anything below the knee. And you look down and she says, it was the best we had, I'm sorry. And it is just the clankiest, like old piece of a Trade Federation battle droid.
This is not,
attached to your leg.
it's not Baku's used leg, at least.
Oh God, that would be so much better. But no, it's not Baku's used leg. Baku, by the way, now has like a Luke Skywalker style prosthetic, you know, it's perfectly. In fact, he's got a vat-grown clone piece now, Baku, because he won big at the races just before that bomb went off. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the final shot of the episode, right? Is that leg as it goes down. Yeah. Okay. End of session, I think, guys. I had a Yeah, Rich ETEMA, fucking
God,
fucking
it's
heck.
the worst.
I just want to go over keys. So mark XP when you accept the lies or half truths of a trusted friend or love. Do you think you did that at any point, Scara?
I don't know. I think it was close a couple of times. I don't think anyone was really lying to her.
Turns
Boxy
out that
didn't-
Boxy
ETEMA
did.
was.
Yeah, ETEMA was, yeah.
Okay.
And Boxy did too?
I think so.
Yeah, but Boxy is not a trusted friend or lover.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But yeah,
Um,
ETEMA, that's true. That's
So
true.
you did accept those lies, so you should have marked an XP for that, I guess.
Yeah.
First.
So that then I hit 3. That's an advance, right?
If you want to, yeah, if you want to clear it, you can say about how she's not done anything to you. I think if you'd cleared it, you would have had to like dish out a beat down and let her in the back of that cab or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I did not.
Like you did what to, or verbally abused or shamed her, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just this off-world. You're not. No, you're this. Like you're supposed to. You think yourself the hero, but all you do is, use people, and then you complain when you get used.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But okay. You definitely marked entered a perilous situation, but you marked an XP for that, I believe, Rich, already, didn't you?
Did. Yeah, I did.
You did. You definitely didn't retreat. You cleared that keen.
I don't think I had
you
any
didn't
other
do
key
anything
hits on
like
Ambition. I
that.
didn't really have
No.
anything close to it after I got that key. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think jumping Baku counts as going into battle significantly outmanned, right?
I think so because the
No.
god,
Yeah, no,
well, the
I'd
gang
allow
was
that. You were
there,
significantly
okay.
outnumbered. Yeah.
and then Inez's people, and you still pushed it. Like, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, entirely. Yeah. Mark XP when you violate your family members' boundaries, protect them. No, you have not done that because you were not doing it to protect them at all. Allow one of them to be hurt or harmed when you could have intervened. I think if you'd gone harder at stopping Inez from being interested, if you'd pushed harder to keep her deflected away from Czern, then I would have, when I offered you at the start,
Right.
like you said to use a com instead, kind of thing. If you'd like run interference and openly lied to Inez about it, like.
But what about
yeah.
at the dinner, whenever I let ETEMA get hurt by Inez? Does that fit?
Yeah, I would allow you. You didn't intervene.
Yeah.
You didn't intervene in that at all. You stepped back out of it. In fact, you stayed right out of it. I'll allow that. Yeah, and I want to see advances, frankly, because Cartel is a game where you can miss a load and still not advance. And if you move miss, sometimes you don't hit the keys, right? Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything. So thank you very much for playing, guys. Do you have time for stars and wishes? Yep. So let's do wishes first.
Do we
I'll
do that
just
off
put,
cam or I can't remember?
well, I'll tell you what, let's just say goodbye to the internet and then we can just talk freely, right? So goodbye, internet. Thank you for sticking around for the last aimless 2 minutes or so of this. See you soon.